there? Oh, now he is.
I am. So, any thoughts, questions, comments, ideas before we move ahead?
I'm
Again,
excited
silence.
to I'm excited for this session because it's a birthday session.
Whose birthday is it? Tom's?
Tom,
It's not.
it's not true.
Oh my God, we have something for you. Uh,
It's not his
Josh,
birthday.
start.
It's not my birthday.
Oh, I
Um,
thought it's
so anything? Nothing.
Um,
Thoughts? Anything from you? So it's not so much me.
okay, I have a question.
There we go.
Always have a question. Um, we had a workshop on. It's called Mindful Menace, and we're being we're learning how to play antagonists. How do what are your personal like techniques or whatever for playing antagonists?
Um, I guess it depends what it is that we're doing. If we're doing a narrative that is a long story with a lot of different scenes, with a lot of different chapters or whatever you want to call it, that eventually has a plot of some kind, and you have to figure out your place in it, then you kind of have to figure out what role is already taken and what role needs to be filled, and is there already an antagonist? Um, do we already have a hero or protagonist and an antagonist and a partner or whatever? Are there any roles that need to be filled in this thing that we're doing? Um, and it being a narrative, let's say there are 6, 7 people in the piece. Um, you have to acknowledge that they're not all going to be main characters. They're only going to be maybe 3, maybe 4 main characters, maybe 2, 3 that you follow to see that push things along, and everyone else is going to be sort of assisting. So that just happens as it happens. Um, you just have to realize, okay, I'm not. We don't need an antagonist. We've got one, um, or we don't have one. We need one. Um, as far as in individual scenes that are not a bigger thing, I don't really give it any thought. I just play like we do here. I just play honestly, and do the same things that I ask us here to do. Scene dynamics and all that kind of stuff, randomness, etc. And then it it comes out from what you're doing. And you begin to realize, okay, that's what I'm doing now. But in these regular old 2-person scenes, however long they are, I don't know whether there is an actual antagonist. You have status shifts, so these things change, and it's not as simple as that. It's not as cut and dried as that. Tomorrow night we're going to be doing musical improv, which is not here, but in my theater, and that's a story. That's a musical play, and so that's very over the top dramatic. It's more than just regular honest improv. It's just a little bit more, and so there you have that, and you have the love interests, and you have the comic relief characters, the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern characters, and you have um, the main protagonist and the antagonist, and all these helpers. So you begin to figure out pretty quickly where you fit in. But it's almost like musical chairs. It starts going, and then you begin to see what's happening, and then you realize, okay, that chair's open. I'm going to take that thing. But as far as me, what do I do to play an antagonist? I have no problem with that. I already don't believe that improv is about. I already believe that most improv should have an edge to it. So I'm not just about fairy princesses and unicorns. It comes naturally. It's not what that's what I'm there for. I'm there to shake things up and make things worse than they are. We all are. We're all there to put obstacles in front of other characters, and we're all there to go towards the danger and to make things worse. So I think that learning how to be a protagonist, how to be a menace, as you say, is exactly what improv is. Even in a small frame, we try to be a menace. We try to be, even when we're trying to be nice, we are a menace in some way.
Ria is at the backstage. Sorry.
How'd that happen?
How to get back?
Oh, there you
Ayan.
go. There you go. I don't know how that happened.
I pressed something. I don't know.
Okay. I thought maybe my cat did it. I don't know. But I know you could hear.
Yes.
So does that make any sense? It's an interesting idea.
Well, I guess it's good also for getting comfortable with your dark side in a sense, just so, because most people, I guess, or a lot of people tend to go for the antagonist role, maybe, or avoid conflict in scenes. I don't know. Maybe I think it's for that. It's good for that.
In my experience, live in person in troops and teams and all that, there were very few people who had a hard time being the bad guy. I guess by the time they get onto a team or into a troop, you filter out those people who are there to make nice, because nice is not what we're doing. So if you want to do face painting and balloons, that's fine, but it's not what we do. And you need to be ready to play angel or devil, just like that. Either case, you're incompetent. Not you, but your character is flawed. Every character that you play has a flaw, and that's what makes this comedy. So if you're trying to solve problems and be nice and heal things, it doesn't help. So the pleasers and the nurturers and the caregivers and all that, they get weeded out by the time a team is ever formed, or they catch on and realize they've got to step up, that this is not that, and they do. There's ways to do it if you're not comfortable. As I mentioned this once before, that there was a woman. I think I mentioned it last week. There was a woman and her husband who were part of a troupe down in Miami that I was in. I loved her very much, and him too, and they were great. But she grew up not just totally uncomfortable with sarcasm, didn't know what it was. Although her husband was one of the most sarcastic people I've ever met. He was wonderful. But she couldn't do it. She couldn't say something that wasn't true from her heart.
But she gets it. She gets
does now, because I just beat the crap out of her. I sat her down. There was an exercise. Well, it was a piece that we used to do where you had to be passive aggressive with one another, and she couldn't do it. By the time we were done with her, she could do it, and not only could she do it, but she liked it. She was like, it's fun to be like this, but in a safe place like this where I can be like this because I am not like this anywhere else. I said, well, that's what this is for. Half the time I play a woman on a stage. I don't do that anywhere else. So this is for being someone that you are not. Who wants you? Who wants me? That's not what I'm there for. I'm not there to give them me. There to give them some character that is anything but me. When you get that into your head, then you begin to realize it's not about you anymore. It's not about what you like, what you believe, how you feel, how you would react. It's not you. And if you want to be you and you can't stop being you, be a stand-up comedian. But I think that's a really cool idea to have a workshop on that. I really do. That's lovely. That's a nice way to put it too. So I may steal that. Anything else?
Have you read the book Comedy Bible?
No.
Is it religious?
No, it's not.
No.
What's it, Mela?
No, it's about stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. I don't really do it too much anymore, and I mixed it just tonight. I mean, we have stand-ups on Friday nights, and for me, it's Friday night. And I know a lot of stand-up comedians, and I kind of try to work with them and get input and tips and all that, and we trade secrets and all that. But no, I haven't. No. No. I grew up in a very funny place. My father was a very funny guy. I grew up in Brooklyn and in New York City, where everybody was funny. It's like if you couldn't cut people a little bit in a nice way and make them laugh, and then you just didn't do well. So that's where I came from. That woman that I told you about who couldn't do that stuff, she came from some place in Ohio in a little town where they didn't have running water or something like that, and it's a whole different Bible Belt, and it's a whole different mentality. And it took her. Her head was spinning around by the time she figured out what it is that we were really doing, but she was so brilliant that she got it. And when she finally got it, it's like, okay, this is not evil. This is just a game.
So how's the? Yeah, sorry, Tom, to
No, please
jump in, but
just jump.
so then coming in from New York and those other places, and then now you're in Florida. How's that?
Well, this is South Florida, which is like being in New York.
Okay.
Everybody down here is from up somewhere else.
From somewhere else.
Especially in southeastern Florida, where I am, a lot of New York, New Jersey people. On the west coast of Florida, they're more from the Midwest, Chicago or Wisconsin or whatever. They kind of go there. But where I am, it's like a suburb of New York. It's a joke, really.
It's a joke.
I mean, it's a joke if you think that moving here, you're going to be in the South. The only way for me to go into the South is to go north. North of here in Florida is the South, but where we are, it's New York.
So what's the Tao of Improv? I am coming in fresh. Maybe the other guys know a little bit more, but I'm kind of
Well,
Blank
uh,
slate.
okay, good.
Exploring.
Partly it's about the idea that of reducing this to simplicity, to its simplest, most basic level. Not because people are stupid and they can't get it if it's more complicated. It's because it's not complicated, and people complicate it. If you've written a 350-page book about improv, you're not doing anybody any favors. It's like reading a 350-page book about mowing the lawn. So it's about, how do you make this so simple? How do you take improv and figure out exactly the little thing that makes it tick, that makes it work, that's human, that everybody can do, if they would only just do it. And when they do it, to then see why they do it and do it. So in doing that and making it simple, it's simpler for you than it is for someone who's been doing this for 20 years to grasp what I'm trying to get across here, because they have to forget a whole bunch of stuff and you don't. The point of it was that improv for many years, many decades, was taught a certain way, and I and other people, not just me, believe that we've been going about it the wrong way. I think that we have been trying to teach improv in a way that makes it so compartmentalized, and you have to remember all these rules and all these do's and don'ts, and it's just mind-blowing. And it turns out you don't. That if you get rid of all that and you just do a couple of things, but you make sure you do them, then not only are you doing better improv, it's also more consistent. You'll never do a bad scene again. The only way you'll do a bad scene is if you forget this and try to do it the other way, and then you have a 50-50 chance of doing a bad scene. That's how I see it. And in practice so far, in teaching it and directing it and all that stuff, that seems to work. But it wasn't until, after a few years of doing it this way, that I finally said, okay, I've experimented enough. It just works. So I'm going to tell folks about it. And it's not just me. There are other people. I mention David Rosowski all the time. He takes it even further than I do. He gets even more. He gets onto the subatomic level of improv and gets into all emotions and stuff like that. And I tend to simplify it more and make it about, do these mechanical things, look for this to happen, and then this will happen, and you've done improv without even realizing you've done it.
Mm-hmm. So what to you is kind of the objective, right? Because I mean, I'm listening in, and on the one hand, you were talking about, it's not just all fluff, right? It's not the happy rainbows and the princess stuff. And we were talking a little bit about sarcasm. And then now it's about simplicity. So what then is the objective of improv for you as kind of a deep thinker in this, I don't know, discipline? I don't know.
It is a discipline. That is actually the word I like to use for it. I don't think of it as an art. I think of it as a discipline. And I think that when you do it, you need to be disciplined. You need to have a sense of self-discipline. And sometimes you can abandon that for a night and just say, I'm just going to go out there. The hell with it. Let the other people do the discipline. But for me, I think, what's the point? Everyone has a different reason for doing it, and ask 10 different people, you get 10 different answers. For me, it's about establishing a connection, a visible palpable connection between improvising actors on a stage that that draws in and captivates an audience and the people doing it. It's about a sense of honesty. That you're being emotionally honest, at least in the context of the scene, and that you're not being funny, you are creating funny, which uses other ingredients. I'll talk about the cake thing again. I'm so sorry for those people who hate the cake thing. I'm so sorry, but the ingredients of cake are flour, sugar, water, eggs, milk, salt, baking soda, whatever. Those are the ingredients of cake. One of the ingredients of cake is not cake. You don't use cake to make cake. You use things that don't look or taste or feel like cake. And if you put them in the right mixture and you do the right things with them, all these disparate things, next thing you know, cake happens. And it happens every damn time. And it's the same thing with improv, with comedy. Comedy, the elements of comedy are anger, pathos, drama, misunderstanding, all these things. But the one element of comedy that isn't an element of comedy is comedy. You want to create comedy, you do it with these other things. And if you put them in the right way, and you do the right things with them, and and there are formulas if you want or not, then comedy happens. So I think it's about discovery. Two people or more on a stage discovering what it is that they're doing rather than planning and executing what it is that they're doing, which takes a lot of faith and guts. But once it's worked 1,000 times, you think it'll work the 1,001st.
I remember you, Tom, saying dying is easy, comedy is hard.
Well, I said someone else said that. Yes.
Oh.
I wouldn't know about it myself, but the guy who was lying on his deathbed was an actor, and he did say to his friend that dying is easy, comedy's hard. Comedy is hard if you think you're doing comedy. If you think, I have to go out and be funny. If you realize that I have to go out and be serious, then you're going to be funny. But if you think you have, I say it again, it's like magic. If you think that you really have to saw a woman in half and you can't imagine how you can do it, or if you think you really have to put that bird in the hat and no, it's not real. You don't have to do those things. It looks like it's hard, but it turns out there's a trick. And if you know the trick, then it looks like that's what you're doing, but it's not. You don't have to learn how to saw a woman in half. You just have to learn how to make it look like you've sawed a woman in half. You don't have to learn how to be funny. You just have to make it look like you knew how to be funny all along. And there you go. It was funny. Because as I tell my class people in person, there's only one funny thing in the world, in the universe. There's only one funny thing. People. Nothing else is funny. Nothing. My cat is funny when she acts like a person. My dog is funny, was funny when he acted like a dog. Cars are funny when they look like people. It's all us, nothing else. So if you're looking for what's funny, it's always the same thing. It's always people. You don't have to go far. And until you realize that, then for you, comedy is going to be hard. In my estimation. When you abandon that and say, these few things that I can do will create comedy, no matter what, then how hard is that? I've been doing it long enough that I now know it's not hard. I've thought it was hard. It turns out that I'm really only doing these simple things. So what? And I threw away all the others. So I wish people didn't teach all that shit, personally. But how are you going to get somebody to pay for 5 levels of improv classes to keep your theater alive? Unless you convince them that it's hard and you have to keep going to the next level, and next level, and next level. It's crap. And there are a lot of people beginning to realize that. I'm just one of them.
So the way I see it, it's like you're learning to unlearn and shedding all the layers until the only layer that's left is just you being yourself and spontaneous.
Spontaneous, which is not
Yes.
necessarily yourself, but you are playing a character. But if you
Yeah.
do these a few mechanical things, and you that anyone can do, you just have to remember to do them. Then it works. You can add layers onto it if you want to, and that's fine. You do that too, but it's not necessary. There is a kernel of truth in all of it, and if you can get to that, the rest is just icing on the cake. Baking a cake.
Got it.
And I see that, and it came about through teaching it the other way for so many years, because I was part of another theater that taught it that way, and I had to teach it that way. And I began to think, I don't know why I'm telling them these things, because when you get on the stage and you get in a troupe with people and you start doing other kinds of improv, you throw most of that away, and then you're really only left with this little concentrated thing that, if you can just get people to understand that. But I always say that, the hardest thing about improv is learning how easy it is. But that's the same thing with anything. The hardest thing about serving a tennis ball is learning how easy it was the whole time. The hardest thing about driving stick shift is learning how easy it was. When you learn it, shit, that's all. And this is the same for me. So it's hard to stay good at it, because a lot of the things that you're asked to do are antithetical to what you would normally do in life. It's the opposite of what you would normally do. You in improv, you go towards the danger. You always go towards the thing that you would run away from in real life. You embrace things that are ugly or ridiculous that you would just walk away from in real life. So you have to get used to that. I've said before, if in improv, if there's a nun holding a baby at the top of a flight of stairs in an improv scene, you push her down the stairs. She must go, because it's not a real nun. It's not a real baby. She's not going to get hurt. The baby will be fine. And what's she doing there in the first place, standing by the stairs, if not to be pushed down the stairs? That's extreme. I know that. That's the extreme thing. But in life, you wouldn't do it. In improv, you must.
So where does the discipline come in then, Tom? I mean, we're talking that it's a discipline, right?
The discipline.
But then we're saying that it's just, just unlearn everything and then just
not everything. Just learn a few things.
Where is the discipline then?
The discipline is to not make it harder than it needs to be.
Okay.
The discipline is to not try so damn hard to be funny. The harder you try, it's like one of those movies where the bad guy has the good guy tied up in ropes, and the harder he tries, the tighter the knots get. The harder you try to be the funny one in improv, the harder you try to bring in your stupid, crazy idea and use that as what we're doing, the harder this gets. If you can just float on your back and let improv take you there, you're better. But most people can't do it, because they think they have to actually saw the lady in half, because that's what they've seen. They don't know it's a trick. I'm telling them what the trick is. You can't go to an improv show, look at it, and say, "Oh, I can do that." You can't. You can do what you think that looked like, but it's not going to be that. So that. So it's just boiling it down, really.
Mhm.
And once you've boiled it down and you get people to do things that way, then you can expand things. You can have them do musical improv, Shakespearean improv, narrative improv, other kinds of improv, and they can infuse it with this grounded sort of improv that is emotion driven. It's driven by emotions rather than by premise. And if you can generate emotions organically within the scene rather than drag them in prepackaged from outside, rather than just say, okay, I'm going to do a scene right now and I'm going to be angry. I'm going to do a scene right now and I'm going to be jealous. If you can find a way to generate these things easily in a scene so that they are part of the scene rather than you dragging them in, it's even better. And it just works. It just does.
Can
And the
I say
people,
something?
yeah, please.
I personally find your classes super useful for me because it allows me to refine what I learned from the foundational stuff I learned in the past. Like I since I don't come from an acting background, I found that super helpful to get me out of my inhibitions and also uh, make me lose my idea of having to control stuff and things like that. uh, I think that it's easier to break rules when you know the rules. So for me, like what I learned from you is more like okay, so I can actually focus on these little things. It's like for me it's refining what I've learned.
Well, it's just that who said that these rules were rules in the first place? Who
Well,
said
I call them
that?
rules.
I know, no, but you're absolutely right. That's what they were. But who said first that in an improv scene, never ask questions? People
Yeah.
have been teaching that since the 1970s. Turns out it's bullshit. Of course, you can ask questions in an improv scene. Why the hell can't you ask a question? Because it doesn't provide information. These are scenes. They're not TED Talks. They have information is not our business. We're not here to inform anybody. And as we've proved, I mean, you can do improv in languages that people out there don't even understand, and they'll get it because the emotions are there and we'll understand them. But it's not about conveying information. So if I ask a question in a scene, how come you took my car? Well, so what? A, it, I'm who am I? I'm a guy who asks that question. That's my character. And B, you don't have to answer it. You don't have to answer it. You got your own shit. Don't answer the question. Who cares? It's not an interview either. Oh, you can't talk about people who aren't in the scene. Sure, you can. Don't two people ever get together and talk about one person who's not there? Of course they do. In life, why would this be different? It's not about the verbal information. That's the least important thing. And that's where people get stuck. They think it's about telling jokes, it's about being funny, blah 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 blah. It's about a connection. And if you don't make the connection, even non-verbally, there should be a connection. There is, whether you like it or not. There's going to be one. You can ignore it and toss it away, or you can work with it. So there has to be a connection. Jokey joke without connection sucks. Connection without jokey joke is good. It's not what we're there for. This is a much more healthy medium than that. We don't need that. So there are plenty of rules to break, but they shouldn't have been rules in the first place. You won't find me telling you a lot of rules. A couple of techniques, tools to use. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Easy to do, doesn't even require creativity. Just do these things. Next thing you know, you're doing an improv scene.
but,
What
but
rules?
sometimes but sometimes the those rules actually make sense. Like, for example, the thing about not asking questions, instead give them something more concrete than that so that you can move the scene further along. It
Move it where?
actually makes sense.
No, it doesn't. It only makes sense if you think that the scene has to move somewhere. Where does it have to move? Go. Where's it going? How can you move a scene when you don't know where it's going? Where's the scene going? How can you possibly know? If you and I are in a scene, how do you know where I think the scene's going? How do I know where you think the scene's going? Going where? We could. You don't have to move the scene. We have to move each other. And people get to watch us move each other emotionally, reacting. And yes, things happen. And then next thing you know, there was a plot. We didn't put it there, but there it is. It always happens. That it's a backwards way of looking at things. It's thinking that here's a product and we need to make that. Here's a painting. And here's all the numbers. You just paint by the numbers. Nonsense. Nonsense. It doesn't need to be that way. I know that because I've done it that way and I've done it this way, and this way works. And the other way, 50-50. Who cares in the audience where the plot of your scene is going? No one. No one. No one. Neither should you. It's a mistake. And I say that having done it both ways. And I don't do it the old way anymore, ever. Even when I'm with people who do, I still do it this way. And they're happy that I do, because at least there's an emotional connection in the scene with me.
But that's exactly my point, I think. You've done it both ways. So, see, you've done it the way you were told to, you were taught, and now you're doing it your way. So, you're in a better
It's
place
not just
to,
my
to
way,
know
but
what
other
works.
people. Right. So I'm like the person who's been to that land and comes back and says, don't go that way. There's actually a shorter distance. You can go this way. You don't have to go all the way around Africa. You can actually, we made a canal. You actually can go that way now. So why would you keep doing that when this is there? You shouldn't. So we're trying to say, don't waste your time with all of that bulky shit when it turns out we found out it's not necessary. It not only is it not necessary, it makes things worse. It makes things harder. And it's the reason why a lot of people don't like to watch improv audiences. They go and they sit and they see people acting out what they think is going to be funny, and half the time it's not. And there's nothing else there. There's no connection. There's no emotions. There's no nothing. It's just, I have an idea. I have an idea. I have a bigger idea. I have a bigger idea. And you're sitting in the audience saying, well, when's something going to happen that I care about? It's about caring, doing things that it's about the characters, the actors need to care. And you need to be doing things that we actually care about. We don't care whether you sell the candy store in order to buy the car. And we don't care about that. We care about how you feel. And that's all. Turns out you're doing all that extra work for nothing. That stuff is and you're going to be with people who don't get it, who don't get that. What are you going to do? Wait a few decades. Maybe everyone will get it. I don't know. But
Well,
I can.
maybe also, I mean, from the Filipino improv scene, we are quite. I think we are quite an emotional group. I mean, the improv that comes out of us is more connective I'd say, than just flailing around and making
Trying to be
funny,
funny.
Well,
right?
depends what you mean by emotional. I mean, there are an
What do
awful
you
lot.
mean
There
by
were
it?
there were an awful lot of emotions. Um, so, um, which ones?
Or
How many
maybe
different
really you're
ones?
saying we actually learned it the right way. Like we have been told to connect and all that. Like be real.
Hmm. Well, you should, but if there's so, what more is there? I mean, that's where it should have stopped. Connect and be real. Period. And here's how to do that every single time. And here's how to not drag prepackaged emotions and prepackaged ideas into a scene. Here's how to generate them, and how to generate shiny objects that you will then come back and use and make them look like foreshadowing or callbacks or whatever. Um, Here's the approach, and it just I've been teaching people who've never done that the other way, only this way, and they're far superior to the ones who've gone through every mile of this trek that we force people to go on. And these people took the shortcut and found, yes, emotions. Here's how to generate them. Here's what to do with them. And don't be funny. And that's where the discipline comes in. Don't be funny. So you asked.
No, yeah. Thanks. I
Okay.
like discussing.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
let's
Let's
do
do it.
some stuff. Um, so, what is it that you think we need to work on? Those of you who've been doing this with us, me. Where are?
Um, I think we're trying our notes.
Yeah, same here. I mean, the
I
reason
learned a
I'm
lot.
looking, yeah, the reason I'm looking forward, I mean, I've been looking forward to today is for me to be able to practice what you put on my notes.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. So let's do it. Let's go. Just so we see a direction that we're going in. Let's talk quickly, very quickly, about the idea. I know I keep saying it, but it has to sink in. The idea of randomness, the idea of chaos,
Chaos.
and the idea of order, and that randomness is not chaos, and chaos is not randomness. Um, Randomness is random. There's no chain of events. There's no, you know, this leads to that. It's flip of a coin is random. You can't predict it. You can't use it to predict. Chaos, it's predictable if you have every piece of information, but you don't. So you have to kind of look at patterns, and you don't know where the hurricane is going exactly. You can predict, and once it's gone there, you can see why it went there. So that's chaotic. It's too much information, but there is a pattern there if you can figure it out. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of information, and then there's order. So which we know. So scenes, good scenes, two-person scenes start out with randomness. Unless you're doing certain types of improv where you need to have a premise. We're not doing that right now. People learn that. It's fine. But to do these kinds of scenes, you need to start out with randomness. Start out with something for no reason. Do it for no reason. Make certain moves for no reason, dynamically. Louder, softer, quicker, slower, down, up, move on the stage. Do mechanical stuff for no actual reason. Say things at first for no reason, you don't know where it's going to go. You just have to do it and say it. And then you react back and forth. It's random, and then it becomes chaotic. Then there's a lot of stuff floating around, and you're reacting honestly, and there's stuff there. And then you begin to see, it starts to make sense. Oh, I see where we're going. I see this. Okay, I think you see it too. All right, let's go there. Now you do what you do. And as you go, you'll need things. You'll need stuff. And the stuff is there because you put it there randomly. And you'll grab those random things those ideas, those things that are still floating around, and you'll use them again later on in the scene. And it will look to the audience like, holy crap, how did they know to put that statue of a horse in this scene at the beginning? And because at the end it was going to be meaningful. Well, they didn't know. They didn't know a thing, but they were aware, and they did it. And then later, when things got less random, more chaotic, and then more orderly, then they needed a thing. There's the statue of the horse. And wow, we need something. What are we? Statue of the horse. That's what we've got in our inventory. That, boom, statue of a horse. Brilliant. End of scene. So, randomness, chaos, order. And randomness is where it all starts. You have to. Humans are bad at randomness. Humans are bad at doing a thing without knowing completely why they're doing it. But if you can abandon that and trust that your random thing at the beginnings will eventually bear fruit, then you'll be fine. If not, then this is hard. And you're going to be manipulating rather than doing a scene. So let's go down the line. Shall we?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. So Lilith is first. I don't have your notes in front of me. I could get them in front of me if I really wanted to try, but I'm going to trust you guys. Okay. Let's go. Wait, let me get through this. I'm probably with a hat. Okay, go ahead. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Nothing? Doesn't look like nothing, Terry.
So, is there something?
I don't know. You said nothing. I mean, you said something, but the something you said was nothing, Terry. What is it? Come on. Come on.
Got a drink?
What?
Got a drink?
I do. I have a drink, yes. Why? Do I need a drink? Am I going to need a drink for this? I'm going to need a drink for this.
Okay.
Okay, this is not good news, is it? What? What?
Happy birthday.
You had to do that. You had to remind me of my mortality. Terry, you know I don't want anyone to discuss my birthday. You know I hate that. You know I hate the idea.
Okay. Happy Saturday.
No, you've said it. The horse is out of the barn, the stable. That's it. Now you've ruined my day.
I'm sorry.
You've ruined my day. It's going to take me weeks at least to get over this. Okay?
How many weeks?
I don't want to embrace my mortality, Jerry. I don't want to think about it. And there you go, throwing it in my face.
Now you're full of life.
Maggots are full of life, but still, I don't want to be one.
You don't want to live?
I want to live. I just don't want to think about it.
Happy 10 o'clock.
It's the worst time of the day. It's the
AM?
worst time of the day. It's not noon yet. It's too early for lunch. It's too late for breakfast. It's a horrible time of the day. Why would you even say that?
I'm
No,
happy you were.
I want to be alone. I want to be alone. Okay? I think I need to be alone. I think I'm going back to bed. Going back to bed. I'm going to pretend this never happened.
You need company?
Thanks for reminding me about my loneliness. Thank you for reminding me that Joanna is not here any longer. I don't know what happened. I still have not figured it out. What the hell did I do?
Let's go to sleep.
But hey, thanks for the birthday wish and all that. I mean, I know you didn't mean to completely ruin my life. But so hey, thank you. And hey, you have an anniversary coming up, you and Margaret, right? Happy 10th.
Thank you for reminding me I'm married.
Oh shit. We should meet on Zoom only and just mute ourselves.
At 10 o'clock?
No!
Is that
That was evil.
you think? I think I think for my debut, I think it has to be.
That was evil.
Yeah, you've been here before. You've done this. You've destroyed the world in the past, and I've always looked up to you. And any notes?
Look, I haven't destroyed the world. I just really, really screwed things up for lots of people. But I mean, think about it. Think about it. The world was asking to be destroyed. I mean,
Absolutely.
honest
even
to God, disco.
Yeah, that was really bad. And the
I let that
move
slide. I let disco slide.
that was very merciful of you.
I know.
But hey,
But then Boys to Men. I'm sorry. That's just
boys, those are my men. Are you?
I
I
know.
sent them.
I know you. I know. I thought that was you. You unleashed them on the world, didn't you?
No, I funded their career because I think their soulful music is so good. It was from my. Are you telling me? Are you telling me
You're
that
not
you hate
being
Boyz II
ironic right
Men?
now.
Absolutely not.
You're being serious. That
I
was
love
you.
Boyz II Men.
You did that on purpose, thinking that was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You
Oh
are.
my God.
You're more evil than I am. I mean, even I wouldn't have thought of doing that for real.
So I'm better than you.
At being worse.
That's right. I'm worse than you.
And better at it.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, then you should be taking notes then.
I don't. Just let me throw this by you. Just let me throw this by you. Okay. Britney Spears makes a comeback. She makes a comeback. A big, huge comeback.
No! Pop music is the greatest thing after Boyz II Men.
All right, then we'll just stick with COVID. We'll just stick with COVID.
Yeah, maybe I think we're on the same page about the pandemic. Okay.
Okay, good.
Honey, can you see my nose hair?
Which one?
The one on the right?
Your
Is
right
it
or my
growing?
right?
My right, my right.
Your right, my left. Yes,
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
it's gone now. It's gone. It's gone now.
All right.
Good.
I've been having troubles breathing because of this
Yeah.
hair in my nose.
Yeah, it was making a noise. A very odd, hairy kind of noise when you breathed.
Yeah.
But not when you breathed out, just when you breathed in. You all right? You're good now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think so.
Okay. So we're still going hiking this weekend then.
Yeah.
It's
I,
not,
I
we're not,
think I have a better breathing right now.
okay, that's good.
You know what? This has been bothering me because of my mask also. So that's why I'm really reluctant just going up the mountains.
But when you get up, you can get it's like it's going back down again, and that's easy.
That's right. That's right. That's actually what you were actually telling me the last time we did that. And
Wow. I
and you
did
swam
mention that there was an ancient Chinese philosopher who said when you reach the top of the mountain, keep climbing.
until you don't breathe anymore.
Then it's a little bit harder to climb.
Exactly. That Chinese philosopher,
He
he's
didn't, but he didn't know. He didn't know.
would you rather be a philosopher than a hiker?
I think you can do both.
A Chinese philosopher hiker.
Well, I can't
Yeah.
be Chinese. I can't be. I'm not Chinese, but I can.
Well, we
I
can
can.
put the blood inside you to become Chinese.
Can you really?
Yeah, we can. I've seen this. I've seen this article in the lab. Let me check
Okay.
that one.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Why
Hold
not?
on. Hold on.
Why not?
Here, honey, here.
What?
Chinese blood put in a Caucasian body.
And what?
So
What?
you can be a Chinese.
Wait, I can be just by put.
Oh yeah. Chinese philosopher hiker in a
Okay.
Caucasian body.
Okay. Except, I don't know. The outfits are a little dull, don't you think? A little same. Like it's a little. And
You're
the
right
hats. I
about
don't
that.
like the hats.
Would you like to be an Indian instead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have. Do you have Bengal?
Bengal.
You have
That's a
Bengal?
better one. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, there's just quite a scratch there. See Bengals. Um,
Hmm.
they have other colors of the blood.
Oh,
Would you
that
like a blue blood?
that explains the tigers.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
I've been thinking.
Oh God.
No. It's not like that.
It's always like that.
No.
It is. It is.
It's just that I feel so lucky.
Oh, how?
Like, what did you see in me?
Oh, I knew it was gonna be this, something like this. Oh God, you're gonna say things, and I have to respond to them. Okay. All right. What did I see in you? Sunshine, rainbows, uh, fluffy clouds, doves. Um,
Wow.
Morning has broken. Um, I
I
don't
love
know.
it when you sing to me.
Is that what I was doing? Yeah, I saw everything in you. Everything. Everything. All good things. All the good things. You know? It's like
Yeah.
someone opened up a bag of Skittles and it just came flying out of you.
See. The thing is, I feel like shit.
Oh God.
Like you always see these nice things in me, but like at the end of the day, I'm just me. Like,
You're right. It is pretty much just you by the end of the day. But in the morning, wow, you know, it's, but
yeah, and then it goes down, right?
it goes, yeah, it plummets.
Like, fuck this shit. I just screamed at the mailman just because
Why?
he didn't he didn't comb his hair. Like, I can be really stupid like that. Like, I just lose it.
I hate the mailman. I hate the mailman. I'm glad you screamed at the mailman. I scream at the
Yeah,
mailman every time I see him. Every time I see him.
and
This
our
is my
dog hates
property.
him.
This is our property.
I know, right? I
What
know,
if I,
right?
what if I went to his house?
Right, and then I have to go back and teach my students
Screw
and be all
them.
nice and
I hate
sunshiny
them.
again. Like, fuck this shit.
Exactly. This. This.
Okay, I'm gonna
This.
go nuts, baby.
No. No.
oh,
No.
oh, like I
We should.
can't start the day like
I
all
know.
chipper.
I know. Hatred. Hatred. Right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
want him. Sometimes I just want to suck the face of the lady
I
who
know.
sells
I hate.
fruit.
I know. I love that you hate. I hate too. My God. I've never been as in love with you as I am right this minute. But that'll go. That'll.
I hate you so much.
I hate you. I absolutely hate you. I can't stand you. But I love
Can I
you.
slap you just like
Please, please,
just
I
for the
hate
heck
me.
of it?
Slap
Yeah.
me. Please, I hate me. Slap me. Ah! That was worse
That
than I
felt
thought it would
good.
be. No, I didn't. I thought it would be better.
Master,
Hmm?
Master, that guy is a traitor.
What?
A traitor.
Who's the traitor? Andre?
He's envious of your power because you're the master, you're the king. We must destroy him.
Must we? Yeah.
We must destroy him
Okay.
as soon as possible.
Okay. How's next Wednesday work for you?
No, we need super earlier.
Okay. I got the thing on Tuesday, but I can move it. Hey, I'm a mess. I'm a master. I got a lot of things to do.
You know, you want it today,
Today.
later at night.
Okay. Oh, I don't really like to do nights.
Oh,
I mean, I'm the master. I shouldn't have to work nights.
Okay.
Should I?
We could like command other people. You don't do it. Have to do it yourself.
Delegate. That's the thing I keep forgetting to do.
Delegate, and we could operate a plan.
A plan. What's the plan?
Yeah.
You have a plan?
We could like trap him. We could
trap him.
Yeah, trap him. We
Trap
could
him.
put a rope outside of his room.
Of his room. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. A rope. Yeah, okay.
A rope, and then when he opened the door, the rope will go here.
Around his.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we just pull the rope.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens to the
died.
rope? Oh, he dies at the end.
And he dies. And no one will claim your throne again.
Somebody who's been claiming my throne.
Yeah, he's been claiming your throne, and you have no idea.
This bitch has been claiming my throne.
Yeah, you should be
Claiming
angry.
my throne. My
yeah,
throne.
you should be
It's
angry
my
because
throne.
he's claimed.
It's my throne. It's my throne, isn't it?
You should
It's my throne.
revenge. You
Oh.
should revenge for that.
Oh.
What
Not
else
gonna-
you want? You want morbid type of revenge?
No.
No.
Unless you got something good.
Yeah.
Something involving, I don't know, something involving
Yeah.
needles or knives or
Oh, we could use that. It's your idea, King. Needles and knife are perfect.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm canceling everything today. We're gonna get this done tonight.
Your excellent idea is working, my king.
Thank you. Thank you.
He is very envious of your power.
Oh, I know. And I am
Yeah.
so grateful to have you as an advisor. I'm grateful and scared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bravo, my king. Bravo for that excellent idea.
Yeah.
Praises to you, the
yeah.
king of the
Yeah.
kings.
Yes, that's me. Thank you. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a power nap.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I know. Sir. So yeah.
Yeah.
It would. Is it possible that we... No, that's just not going to happen, is it?
say it.
Say it.
Yeah.
That we leave Spencer at home and we just go away. We just take off. Get on a plane. Just say, hey, where's the next plane going somewhere? And they say, we got a bunch of planes and they're all going somewhere. And we just put us on one of them. We just go. Leave Spencer at home. You don't need him.
That's a good idea, though.
I know.
But everybody invested so much in Spencer.
Just don't. I know it's not going to work out. He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Oh, it's not his fault.
Every idiot, it's their fault for being one. Every single one of them. Every one of them.
How could that be? I mean, I raised Spencer.
I know.
So does that mean I'm an idiot too?
No, you're not.
Is that what you mean? I mean,
I raised a tomato. That doesn't make me a tomato.
that's a good point.
I mean, it's like some tomatoes, it just turn out the wrong way. Spencer is just a bad tomato. We don't have to tell him where we're going. It'll be weeks before he even realizes we're gone.
But I've planned my whole life with Spencer in it. It's going to be really difficult for me. It's going to hurt me so much, and you knew that all along. Why do we have to do it this way?
Do you realize what would happen if we took Spencer along with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's really going to be hard, but don't you think it's worth it?
Think of a place we could be. Any place. Paris. We could be in Paris.
And rob a bank?
anything. We could do anything in Paris.
I can imagine. We could rob a bank and eat ice cream afterwards.
We could eat ice cream before.
But with Spencer. Spencer should be there.
No.
You know, when we
No.
started out.
I draw the line. I draw the line. Spencer is not part of us any longer. Get rid of him.
I can't. Not until Spencer lays eggs. You know, I've really spent so much for this chicken.
He's
And
a
I'm not gonna-
rooster.
I-
They don't lay eggs. It's a he. I been meaning to break that to you.
All along you didn't.
I didn't know either. I thought he was just a chicken who was too stupid to lay eggs. Turns out roosters are boys and they don't lay
So
eggs.
you knew this all along? Since the time that I won Spencer in the carnival? You didn't tell me, you betrayed me.
Hey, you know where they have great eggs? Paris.
There will be more chickens, roosters there.
Le Coq.
Oh, look. Let's go. Okay.
Take good care of that. And some more of it. There you go.
What? What? What?
Yes.
What?
That.
What?
It's a what? You've been a very, very good servant to me.
Thank you. Sir,
That's my
sir.
sword. That's my sword. And that's my robe. And that's my armor.
I see. Wow. I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this. I was not expecting this at all. This is sorry. You know how I get. This is. You knew this was gonna do this to me. You knew I was gonna have a hard time with this. I didn't even think you noticed me or that you even knew I was alive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is just just
I feel you. I've been at your what they say all this. I've been at your place before. I've become a king
I know.
of Sweden.
I know. I just didn't think that she even saw a little person like myself.
You're not a little person, young man. You are Arthur. You are Arthur. It is written on your t-shirt, Arthur. That name will be known not only here in Sweden, but also in Italy and Rome.
So I get to keep the sword.
You can sell it and make fortune out of it.
Sell it? Sell the sword? No, my liege, I shall never sell the sword. I shall use the sword. I shall wield the sword. I shall keep the sword, and I shall brandish the sword, and I shall scabbard the sword until I need the sword to wield and brandish and to smite others in thy name.
But if you sell the sword, it's under my name. You know, it has written the King of Sweden.
It does have your name on
Meister
it.
Manar.
It does.
Meister Manar, the King of Sweden. You sell it?
They're gonna think I stole this.
No.
Someone's gonna think I stole. It's got your name on it. It's engraved in it.
Show me. Show them my signature. And my underwear.
Um,
They know I
uh,
gave it to you.
I shall
Arthur!
I shall wield your underwear. I shall brandish your underwear, and I shall smite others. And with why do I have your underwear?
Because it is a perfume. The scent of it will nourish every people that can smell the smell of the king. Masturo, prove it. Smell it now.
I,
Sniff it.
I don't think so. I think I'll just.
You're
Okay.
turning me down,
No, I did it. I
Arthur.
did. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It
You
makes
just
you sad and miserable.
you just told me to do it.
No, no. I don't want you sad. I've been known you for almost 3 years. I trained you. I fed you. You take good care of my back when it aches.
I do that
Yeah.
thing.
And you also plant potatoes for me.
Hey.
It's time to let you go, Arthur.
Okay. Thanks, dude. Mm.
Grandpa,
Yes, child.
I really like being here at the beach with you.
All right. Good. Good.
It reminds me of when we used to come here with mommy.
Okay.
Grandpa,
Mm.
where do you think mommy is right now?
I'm sorry.
Were you sleeping?
I
Grandpa, why are you sleeping? I'm talking to you.
my eyes are old. Resting them. Could you repeat the question?
I was asking you, where do you think my mom is?
Oh, she died. Yeah, like 5 years ago. There. That's where she
I
is.
know that this method of yours of saying that I will be immune to all of this grief,
Grief.
even if I'm only 8 years old, by facing it will work, but it hasn't so far. I still miss her.
Sweetie, you're 8. Do you remember what it was like before you were born? Do you remember what it felt like 10 years ago? That's where mommy is.
So, are you saying she's free? Like,
I
she's like wind?
very much like wind. very much
But
like it, like wind.
if
She's like
we
wind.
breathe, if we breathe,
Well,
we're breathing her in.
uh, that's going a bit far. I have an idea. I have an idea. Who wants some ice cream?
Will we mix strawberry and chocolate flavors?
We can mix anything you want. Anything.
Can we eat it in the cone even if it drips over my hands?
You can eat it in the cone with a spoon. If you want.
Can we hold on to the
Okay,
big
it's just
cone?
ice cream. It's just ice cream, okay? Like there are probably endless questions about how you can eat ice cream. Basically, you take the ice cream, you put it in the thing, and you stick it in your mouth and you eat it. For God's sake, grow the hell up! You're 8. What flavor do you want?
Vanilla.
Oh, don't
In the cup
play the martyr with Grandpa.
with
Don't
a
play the vanilla
small
martyr with
spoon.
Grandpa. You're not the vanilla martyr
And
anymore.
you
You
don't
did this
need to
last week.
watch me.
You did this
You
last
don't
time.
even need to
did
enjoy what
vanilla.
is happening
You
in my mouth with the plain vanilla.
fine.
Just give me the $5.
You're getting frozen yogurt. Low fat.
Oh, that was fun.
I defy anybody to point out any one of those scenes that wasn't good. That was all fun. That was fun.
I love that.
And I think we were all heightening emotions this time around. I know I was, but for some of the time that was fun. Any thoughts?
I love Ria's debut. Debut with Tom.
That was
Kudos,
fun.
kudos, bravo, Ria.
It was lovely.
Venus coming out of the ocean.
It was lovely. It was lovely.
I like the overlapping.
Yeah. I've been wanting to tell some 8-year-old kid to grow the hell up all day.
I could tell.
I love the facial strength of Ria and Joy on Zoom. They're so good.
Yeah, if you can do that here,
Yeah.
if you can do that kind of thing here, boy, imagine what you can do on a stage. Really, honestly, it's nice. This is hard to do that. What else? Lovely stuff. Anybody?
It was interesting the way you brought your scene with Josh back to earth at the very, very end. You're like, okay, dude, that's enough. And the underwear bit was hilarious.
I like it because when I let him go, he also let go the respect. I like it.
Took me a while to figure out what it was that you were doing, but good. It was worth it. It was lovely. I loved it. Really, it was a great choice. Good,
So funny,
bold choice. Yeah.
I like your teaching for today that came out from Hela. If I raise a tomato, that doesn't make me a tomato. I will put that in my daily bread.
Gospel truth.
It makes sense.
Comedy Bible.
And then Ella said, "Yeah, you have a point."
Well, I
And then
did.
it's
I
the
did
name
have a.
chicken.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, and calling the rooster a boy, the chicken's a boy. Like that's just funny.
That's well, I mean, I'm glad that you finally that one of us defined that's who Spencer was. I don't know why I said Spencer. I was working. One of the people in our cast in tonight's show was named Spencer. I was just uh,
He's
uh,
probably choking by now.
Yeah.
oh boy.
He'll be at the beach with Ria.
Yes.
I'll be making him as the chicken.
And breathing in mom. Yeah. Any other thoughts about any of that stuff? It was all fun. I liked every
Yeah,
single
it was
one of
so
those. Every
fun.
single one. And they were all very different. You know. But still, every one of them there was a connection. Every one of them, there was some connection there, and that's what was interesting. And I don't know about any of you, but every one of those, I did what it is that I'm kind of teaching. I mean, I think you all did too, where it was just random at first, and then you're trying to feel it out a little bit, and then you start to see it, and then okay, then you make some moves, but you don't make any big moves until you see it. Um, but that's the way it was for me. Anything else? No? Okay. Let's do what we do. We start here and we go down the line. Just any takeaway at all.
Um, I think I'm connecting. I'm reconnecting to the visceral part of improv, where
Oh, wish I'd
it's
said that.
right. It comes up from the gut, right? Um, and oh, it was lovely, Tom. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that is all too often what's missing, and that we bypass
Yay!
all the other stuff that you learn. It's not wrong, but it bypasses that, and you don't, and you get cheated out of it sometimes. Josh, what do you got?
Uh, s- uh, the orbits. I'm still, figuring out how to train myself while using the orbits. You're good at that. You're good at changing the orbit, Tom. You're like, but it's still connected.
Yeah,
You mean
somebody
Tom
needs.
is good?
Ah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm mindful of it. It's not my thought. I was taught it by other people, and they really pounded it into your head. So you just do it by reflex. Lilith, what do you got?
Other notes, I had a lot of notes and pointers that I received. So it actually liberated me. Thank you.
Oh, good. It should. Um, good. Chrissy, what do you got?
Me, I like I like the cake
Metaphor.
metaphor. Yeah, thank you so much for that. It rids us of the pressure to make people laugh and just be true to ourselves. I know Alvin is next to me, but he just
Where is
stepped
he?
away. And I know you're gonna call him next. But he did tell me that he would like to get notes from you as well.
Okay,
Mm.
we'll bounce back to him. Okay.
Right? Okay.
I'm not gonna. Well, you weren't there, were you? hmm That was pretty random. You were gone. Okay, Em, what do you got?
Just like last week, I'm all about my notes still from you, and I really enjoy playing characters that are not put together yet. Um, I feel safe doing that with you, knowing that I don't know, it can just go anywhere and it'll be fine.
Thank you. You can do it even with people who don't do things this way. You can do it with any improviser. It won't be as good. It's kind of like you are a good dancer And if you dance
Right, right.
with
It
someone
depends on
who
the partner.
isn't, at least you can help them, even if they're not helping you. So, yeah. And as far as taking the pressure off, there are still types of improv where you do have to have a premise, and you do have to be funny with that premise. Tonight, at my theater, what we did, uh, what which what we do every Friday is we have stand-up comedians, and the stand-up comedians, good stand-up comedians, and they do about 5 to 7 minutes of their material. We've never heard it before, and then the troupe gets up and improvs from their material. And then the next stand-up comedian comes up, and then we do the same thing, like a sandwich all the way through. So when you're doing that, it is about these ideas that are floating around, and you don't have time to be grounded and to do that. So then you do have to do the premise driven stuff. There's no reason to say you can't, that's not really real improv. It is. It's just that everyone learns that. Everyone, you can't. It's hard to teach that. It's hard to say, okay, here's how to be clever. You know, so, but this saves that. When people are trying to do premise, and it just doesn't get anywhere, they try to do more premise in the scene, thinking, well, we just have to have a bigger, crazier idea, and that'll make everybody laugh. Somebody needs to stop doing that and do this and ground it and get emotional, and then that resets things, and then you can go back to your premise again. Joy, what do you got?
Fun.
Now,
Because I explored characters. I've been exploring villain characters lately, and I it's like a child playing in the playground. So
well, yeah,
fun.
that was a
Thank
fun scene.
you.
I really enjoyed that scene. I haven't done one like that in a while. That's a lot of fun.
I love the conflict now.
Good,
Yeah, conflict in stories, not in real life. I
good.
mean, it's okay to have conflict in real life, but
Yeah.
before I'm very traumatic with conflict. Yeah, that I tend to have like peacemaking skills because of that trauma. And now that I move on from that, I enjoy being a storyteller now than
Oh, good.
before. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great way of looking at it. Ella, what do you got?
I'm just happy that I'm being more and more loose now compared to before. I don't overthink a lot anymore.
Good.
Yeah, because I'm so accustomed to following a script and being verbatim most of the time, and now yeah, I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah, yeah. That's a tough jump to make. Okay, so Alvin is not here, but in
He's
answer to
here.
his question,
Oh, there he
no, I'm just
is.
Oh,
kidding.
there he is.
What you got?
Alvin and mute.
Hi. Oh, sorry, I just got something from outside.
Okay.
I really had fun. I'm always having fun playing with Tom. And next time, I'm looking also forward to also doing one more round. I guess, with other of our fellow co-improvisers. I'm always learning from everybody, and that's good to do. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Okay. Great. Yeah, we can do that. That's it. That's all I got.
I
Fun
got to
again.
slap you, Tom, today. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thanks.
birthday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.